Hello everyone. Welcome to the practice of self-compassion. This sound is one of my soothing sounds that I am playing anytime I feel that my mind is wandering, is traveling to the places that are not healthy, that are not supporting me. And as part of the self-compassion practice, I invite you to dive into yourself, looking for the sounds, for the source of touch, for visuals that have the same healing influence on you. So this is mine. Sometimes I need to do it twice. And what is yours? What we are practicing when we are practicing self-compassion yoga, we are asking ourselves, what do I need? What can I do to comfort myself, to make myself feel safer, knowing that as human beings we can departure into creativity, into relationships, even into productivity if that matters to you. Only from the place of safety. Otherwise, it turns into obsession, self-punishment, cruelty. Other element that has soothing impact on me is the light of candles. I light them every time before I start something new during a day. I light the candle for the work time, I light the candle for the yoga practice. What are your rituals? What are your small anchors during the day that can bring you into a place of safety and self-compassion? I invite you to start this practice for finding this place of comfort, place of soothing within your body. So, not like in a typical yoga class, I would like to invite each of us to start the practice from the movement that our bodies may need. Maybe self-compassion feels for you like a loving hug. And maybe just staying here and swinging from side to side like in an arm of a mother, of someone that loves. Or maybe you need something more dynamic. Whatever it is, let's start from our place of soothing. For me, this is usually some fluidity. For you, it will be something different. And for the next 1 minute, let's arrive into a pose of comfort. What is your body asking you to do? What kind of movement do you need right now? What kind of stretch? Or what type of stillness? There is wisdom within us that guides us towards healing. When we follow these impulses, we arrive into a place that has healing impact on our bodies and minds. So for example, now my body tells me to come and challenge myself a little. I notice that my mind has difficulty focusing. So I'm coming into this little more challenging balance pose. What is your body asking you to do now? And then, may each of us arrive into a position, into a pose, I'm losing balance, into a pose that symbolizes, embodies self-compassion. This pose where you feel safe, where you feel held by yourself. You can experiment what feels right. What is this pose? Maybe you arrive somewhere and then your body asks for some little adjustments. My self-compassion feels like that today. How does yours look like? Arriving into this pose, notice what gives this sense of safety, what gives this sense of being held. Is it touch or is it a way that you are breathing? Notice. Maybe there are some images that are arriving. And whatever pose your body guided you into, this will be your refuge pose for today's practice. Anytime you notice that something becomes too much, overwhelming, I invite you to come back to this pose, taking responsibility for the practice, and by that practicing how to take responsibility for your own safety, your boundaries, your comfort in the daily life. So this is your refuge, and now I invite you for more movement, physical practice. Let's start by arriving into comfortable standing pose. Bringing softness into your knees, into your upper body, noticing what do you need to keep engaged to stay with confidence, and what you can gently release, where you can invite softness. And from this mixture of softness and stability, let's take a deep inhale, bringing arms up, coming to tops of your toes. Exhale to the center. Inhale up. Exhale. And repeat a few times in the pace of your own breath. And after the next inhale, exhale, bringing your fingertips behind you. Inhale up. Exhale behind. And with the next inhale, we will come back, circling our elbows to the front. The fingers keep touching. What we do, we hop, circle. Maybe I come closer if you can see it. So my palms were here, and then I circle them to the front. So we've got some new elements. Inhale up, coming to tops of your toes. Exhale, fingers behind your head. Inhale, circle towards the front. Exhale, palms towards the center. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, fingers behind you. Inhale, other way around. Exhale towards the center. And let's repeat a few times in the pace of each other's breath. Notice if you allow yourself to not hurry. To listen to the pace of your breath without rushing. One more time on either side. And interlace your fingers. Bring them all the way up. Come again to tops of your toes. And exhale, round your spine. Bend your knees gently. Bring your fingers in front of you. Exhale, come towards the center. Inhale up. Exhale. And see if you could make your breath travel in this circular way. Inhaling up. Exhaling. You may notice that sometimes I say inhale here, somewhere there. The point is to combine the movement with your breath, to find your own circular movement. To me it feels more natural to inhale going up, exhale round my back. But notice what feels good for you. One more time. And let's pause when our palms are in front of us. And this time with an inhale, I invite you to imagine that you are opening a window. Or opening a window to another world. Almost like, what's there? Imagine that. You can see what I'm doing. I'm really trying to open something. And give you some sound as well. So I'm inhaling, I'm opening a window. Exhaling, coming to the front, rounding my back. Inhaling, opening. Exhaling. And while doing so, I invite you to allow your sensations, the images to come. What is there that you want to open? What is there that you are curious about? What is there that you maybe keep behind closed doors and you want this gesture of opening? I invite you to flow with this movement. For me, it feels like I'm opening my heart, opening my chest, and then grabbing the world, bringing it towards my heart, welcoming the experiences of the life, welcoming the light, welcoming the beauty that is also in the hardship. So I'm opening my window of my soul, and then grabbing life, bringing it close to my heart. And now find your own rhythm, your own meanings. Let's meet in Tadasana, that is standing, stable but soft pose. Coming back to the intention of today's practice, that is practicing with self-compassion. You may like to come to the edge of your mat or the edge of your blanket. Inhaling, bringing your arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, palms in front of the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, come to the ground. You may like to bring your feet a little farther apart. Bring your right palm to your left ankle and wave your left arm all the way up. Exhale to the center. Inhale, repeat on the other side. Exhale to the center. And find the rhythm of your breath. When you are going up, you are bending the opposite knee. So when my right arm is up, my left knee is bended. And next time your either hand is up, bring the palm to your lower back, opening the chest to one side. In my case, it's left side. I'm sending the breath to the left side of my ribcage, left side of my belly. Exhale towards the center and repeat on the other side. Exhale towards the center. And while your head is hanging down, notice if there is any movement that comes to you now. Maybe you would like to swing from side to side. Maybe hold your head to give it a little bit more weight. Maybe you want to explore the floor with your fingers. Or maybe you just want to hang here in this pose of letting go. Bringing to awareness what is there that you are ready to let go. Whatever movement is coming to you here, listen to your body's impulses and move or swing or stretch the way that you may need today. And then slowly transition to stillness, shifting your body weight to your left knee, gently bending this knee, placing your fingers, your palms on the ground, and then bending your right leg, bringing it up, exhaling, grounding your spine, knee to the chest, inhale up, exhale, knee to the chest, round your spine, inhale and exhale, inhale, and 2 more times. And with the next exhale, let your right foot arrive freely on the ground, the way that your hips are still open. So your feet will not be in one line, but they're, let's say, in hips width apart from each other. If that feels right, if your body wants something different, listen to it. Okay. And this time, let's arrive into stillness, into forward fold, sending hips to the back of the room, creating stretch, opening in varied areas of your legs probably. Can you notice what's happening? And then interlace your palms behind you and send your palms towards the sky while your head is hanging here. Inhale all the way up. Open your chest. You can gently bend your back if that feels right. Look up. Exhale. Inhale. And may the breath be your guide here. Exhaling towards the ground. Inhaling up. And then release your palms towards the ground. Bring your feet in one line again. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, palms towards the heart center. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And let's pause in Tadasana for a moment. You may close your eyes gently. And just notice if there is any difference now between the left side and the right side of your body. If there is, if you are noticing a difference, what kind of sensations are informing you about it? We practice noticing a difference to build a habit of connection with our body's sensations. So we will be able to listen to them in our daily life. When the sensations come to tell us, hey, it's too much, or hey, go from here, it's not good for you, or Oh, I like it. I want more of it. Or anything else. With awareness of what's happening within you. Let's take a deep inhale, coming to tops of your toes. Exhaling to forward fold again. And this time, gently shifting body weight to the right side. Placing your fingertips or palms on the ground. If you have blocks or books, you can also use them and place your palms on the blocks. And then gently bend your right leg. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale. May the breath guide you here. And one more time. And with an exhale, may your foot arrive behind you in this comfortable distance. Lean towards your front foot. Let your head drop, let your arms drop. Send your hips to the back of the room. And then interlace your palms behind you, actually above you. And imagine that they are very, very heavy, so they are pulling you all the way up. Inhale up, exhale. And may your breath guide you through this movement. And next time you are heading towards the floor, bring also your palms towards the ground. Walk your foot towards the ground, towards the front. Inhale, come all the way up to the upward salute. Exhale, palms to the center. Inhale up. Exhale, palms towards the center. And let's take a moment again to close the eyes, to close your eyes, and just notice what's happening within you. Do you sense more balance between left and right side? Or maybe things are shifted now to one of the sides? And maybe you notice that this is a time to go into your refuge pose. The one that for me was this one. Pose of self-compassion, pose of rest. Something we call resourcing. So I come here to gather back my resources. And then when I'm ready, I can continue. Inhale, bringing your palms all the way up. Exhale towards the ground. Inhale. One more time, shift your weight towards the left side. Bend your right leg. And this time with an exhale, bring your foot on the left side of your left foot. Inhale and exhale. So let's flow a few times with your own breath here, knowing that if at any moment it feels like too much, you have your own refuge pose that you can come back to any moment. And the life continues, people keep practicing, and you are allowed to take a break. You are allowed to come to your resourcing pose. Otherwise, you can keep continuing with me. Inhaling, bringing the foot up. Exhaling, crossing the legs. Inhale up. Exhale, round your back. Inhale up. And let's meet all together with our legs crossed. Forward fold. Maybe you can notice opening in your legs, in your hips. And then place your palms firmly on the ground. Right foot up. Exhale, bend round your back. One more time, right foot goes up. And this time, when you bring your right foot to the left, I invite you to come back all the way to the ground. Okay, so what just happened? Maybe even without looking, you can kind of sense what happened. We came to the ground. We came towards the ground in this twisty way, and I will repeat it. Inhaling up, exhaling, coming back. My legs are crossed. Foot goes up, then towards the knee, up, and then one more time. I'm bringing my left foot towards the left side, and then letting it all fall towards the ground. Maybe I can come closer to you. It should work as well. So now I invite you for a practice of falling and standing up. You can take it as a physical practice. It's actually quite engaging. And you can also understand it as a practice of how do I fall and how do I stand up. So I invite you to stand up with all the grace that you can find within you. It doesn't matter if you are wobbly, shaky, if it looks a little funny. Grace comes from within you. So let's practice this gentle flow with the grace, or the grace. Inhaling, bringing arms up. Exhaling, lifting yourself up. And may each of us find own way to practice. And let's do it one more time. And this time with an exhale, bring your right palm towards your left knee and just twist to the left side. Catching up your breath. And also adjusting the twist so it feels that something is happening, that you are opening something within you, but is it without any injury, that it's not too much, that it doesn't feel like you are crossing your boundaries. So my shape will be different than your shape, and that's okay. You can also join me and release the palm from behind you and paint different playful shapes around. Or actually, I feel like releasing my both arms. And get ready, because now comes another playful part. I'm bringing my both palms to the right side, and then I'm transitioning into three-legged dog, and then to downward facing dog. Okay, in case someone again doesn't know what happened, I will repeat it. But if you've got it already, then you can just play in downward facing dog. So we were here in our dancey twist, and then I bring my palms towards the ground, hop, and hop. Let's take a few breaths in a downward facing dog. Again, noticing what you may need here. Maybe you want to walk your feet. Maybe you rather want to go into stillness. And then slowly walk your palms towards your feet, making very little steps, like you are nourishing, cherishing this journey towards your feet, like every centimeter was important. And then inhale, come all the way up. Tadasana. Let's take a moment to notice. Just notice what's happening in your inner landscape. Maybe you can notice changes in the temperature. In your heartbeat. And then with the next inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Join them above. Exhale towards the ground. Inhale halfway up. Exhale towards the ground. Inhale all the way up. Exhale Tadasana. Inhale up. Exhale towards the floor. Inhale halfway up. Exhale towards the ground. And while in forward fold, shift your weight to the right foot. Inhale up. Exhale, cross your legs. Inhale up. Exhale, left knee towards the chest, round your back. Inhale up. Exhale, cross your legs. And may the breath guide you here. And let's pause for a few breaths with our legs crossed. And then gently Transition towards the center. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, round your back. Inhale up. And this time, hop. You know what happened. So we are again practicing how to come to the ground, how to face the reality of gravity, and how to stand up with grace. Maybe before practicing, it's good to pause for a moment and ask ourselves, where in your life would you like to practice how to stand up with grace and smile after every failure, after every moment when gravity, either gravity of earth or gravity of human experience in more metaphorical way, whenever it kind of wins with your body and you end up on the ground, on the floor. And I'm sure you know that I speak metaphors here. So where in your life would you like to practice how to stand up with grace? You may also like to experiment how to do it without the help of your palms. So how to come to sit without your hands supporting you, and how to stand up. This is only when you feel like you want to have some challenge. You want to experiment with something new. There is no good or bad. And maybe you can also notice that also failing, coming to the ground, we can do with grace. Not only standing up, but also falling can be gentle, can be with self-care and with joy. And next time you are on the ground, I invite you to arrive into stillness, finding the twist that works with your body today. If you have a blanket, you can also sit on this blanket, or a pillow. It's good to lift your pelvis, but you can also stay where you are. Lengthen through your spine, and then direct your attention, or your gaze, and attention as well, towards the right side. Noticing how to arrive into stillness, into a new situation. So everything is somehow twisted. My right leg is on the left side, my foot is actually closer to my hips. Nothing is as I know it, and I am still looking for stillness. Then you can gently release your palms, release your arms, and if it feels right, you can look for your playful, joyful movement. It's a little bit for me like, okay, I'm on the ground, my legs are crossed, I don't know what's happening, I'm not in a situation I know, and I'm still dancing. we can look at it also in a way that my legs can't go far in this way. They are kind of trapped in this crossed way. But I still look for parts of my body that have freedom, that can move with lightness. It reminds me a little bit the situation of the quarantine. Maybe I can't do everything that I would like to do. I can't go everywhere I would like to go. But there are still areas that have freedom, that are able to flow. And let's all arrive into stillness. Appreciating freedoms that we've got. And then gently, very, very gently, release your right leg. Bring it in front of you. Release your left leg. And give them some nice shake. And then bring your feet together. Your knees are open. And you can also give a nice shake to your hips, to your knees here. I had this brilliant idea to practice yoga today in jeans. So don't do it. But let's say this is another challenge. How to find release when there is so much limitations that I put on my legs. And then arrive into stillness. As you are touching your feet, I invite you to offer yourself some gentle massage. And while touching your feet, I invite you to notice softness of the skin. I invite you to look with your fingers for the skin that feels soft. Coming back to the concept of self-compassion as softness, as being soft with yourself. Being like soft skin. And if sometimes you may forget, what does it mean to be soft with yourself? You can come back to the sensation of this soft skin, knowing this is how it feels to be soft. And then I invite you to, touching your feet, find skin that feels rather harsh, thick. Maybe even a little bit like wood or like a stone. Noticing that the skin probably grew as a form of protection, to protect you from the harsh floor, to allow you to walk safely. This harsh skin, thick skin, is some of your life experiences as well. And this is another aspect of self-compassion. To invite both types of skin. . appreciating that sometimes we grow thick skin because there was no better way to protect ourselves. And that is not a mistake. It is how it is. And at the end, I would like to invite you to touch your feet as a whole, noticing thickness, harshness, and softness in the same time. As these two qualities together make for your feet. And welcoming these differences, welcoming these oppositions. Let's arrive into stillness again. Let's bring palms in front of us. And then very, very slowly start coming towards the floor. Still keeping your feet together, arriving to lay down on the ground with your knees open, feet touching. Take a moment to arrive here, noticing parts of the body that are touching the ground. And then release your right leg and start painting different circles, or not circles, different shapes. And then coming to center, and then releasing your left leg, allowing the left leg to paint in the sky, welcoming any movement that comes. And then arriving into center again. And from here, I would like each of us to arrive into resting pose in which you will feel comfortable, safe, in a pose that can feel like a resourcing pose. So a pose in which you can gather your resources. For me today, it will be coming into this curly snail. I don't know what's the name of this pose. I'm just curling on the floor towards the right side, hugging my knees. But for each of us, it can be something different. Sometimes for me it's to bring my knees to the chest, sometimes to come into Shavasana. You can experiment. This pose doesn't have to come immediately. Arrive into restful pose on the floor that feels like homecoming into your body, into your soul. Take a moment experimenting, adapting, maybe bringing a blanket, covering yourself with a blanket, or maybe looking for some cushions, making yourself extremely comfortable. Like the most important thing you have to do now is to make yourself cozy and comfortable. And once you arrive, welcome stillness. And I invite you to stay in this pose for as long as you may need. I will say goodbye with a few sounds of a Tibetan bowl, and then you will stay in the safest hands that are your own hands. May the sound of the Tibetan bowl bring compassion to parts of you that are hurting. May the sound of the Tibetan bowl bring compassion to parts of you that are hurting. Thank you for practicing together today.